Now we are going to learn how to create an ADSO. Okay, so in today's session we learned how to create info objects. Yeah, I can go for creating an ADSO, or what I can do, I can explain more in detail about info object. Let's create ADSO also. But I don't give any information on more about ADSO and all. In tomorrow's session we will discuss about ADSO in detail. Okay, now I am done with creating info objects. So next is right click on the info area, go to new, create data store object advanced, select this one. So when you creating this ADSO, provide the name. So that's why I always come here and first of all yeah, what is our bill data source name? Our data source name is G bill book, right? So when you creating ADSO, here also there is a limit for the technical name length. So that's why G A, and let's since I am creating this, I am giving my naming standards ZSR underscore ADSO, advanced ADSO, and then bill. Let's see how many characters it is. Yeah, 9 characters. I think it will allow. Yeah, let's see. 8 or 9, I didn't remember exactly. Let's see. So I'm giving my ADSO name and then bill book, and then click on finish. I given my ADSO name and the description and then click on finish. Now coming to this screen. So this is the ADSO general screen. Don't touch anything. Just go to detail section because we will talk about this screen later point. So come to detail section. Here we are going to create the structure of the ADSO. Okay. Here we are going to create the structure of the ADSO. So how to create the structure? We need to add the info objects to my to create the structure. So click on add info objects. And now select our info objects one by one. G bill number. Yeah, select it, double click on it. It will come to the right hand side. And then bill item. Double click, it will come to right hand side. And then G date. And then G material. And then G quantity. Now see here, when I'm trying to add G quantity to the right hand side, yeah, it came alone. This unit I no need to add. Okay, it will come automatically because as I said, quantity and units are tightly interlinked. So when I say click on OK button, you see I didn't add unit and currency here. But when I click on OK button, you see automatically 0 unit came and 0 currency came because those are tightly integrated. So this is my structure of my ADSO. So for here, how we defined a key for a table, in the similar way, we need to define a key for our ADSO also. How to define a key here? Go to manage key section, select your key fields. Bill number and bill item number are the keys in your table. So here also bill number, item number are the keys. Click on add button, select these two and then click on add button. You can select multiple columns by pressing the control button. Click on OK. You see whichever you enabled as key, you can see this key symbol and then finally click on activate. Okay. Click on activate. You see there is a folder created for data store object and here you can see ADSO name also. Okay, so we are done. So yeah, I'm not going in details of the ADSO at this point of time. In tomorrow session, we will clearly learn about this ADSO concept. So next. So for what we did, now I need to draw something, okay, to understand. So in our BW system, we have a data source. let's create it. We have one data source like this. Okay, and from we created now one DSO, ADSO. Okay, and now I need to add one table also. Hello, sir. So to understand better what I'm going to do next, so we need a little bit, informative. That's why I'm writing this data source. So as I said here, I said data source also is kind of which contains a structure, and ADSO also it's a kind of structure, a table. ADSO is kind of table in the database. So that's why I created a table with multiple columns. So what are my columns here? Bill underscore number, item number, date, and then material, quantity, and corresponding unit, amount, corresponding currency. Okay, so these are my columns in my ADSO. Now these columns are same exactly we have in our data source also. Okay, in our BW we have an object called data source and we have an object called ADSO in our BW. Now our goal is to load data from R3 system where we have a separate system R3. We have a separate R3 system. In this system, we have a table. So I can say this is a table. This is nothing but a table in R3 system. So based upon this table, I created one data source. And then I replicate this data source to ECC. So that's why this data table structure, data source structure, both are same. Okay. So now what is our requirement is we need to load data into our ADSO. So the data coming from to this ADSO is coming from this table, which is in my R3 system. But it is not directly connected. It is indirectly connected via using this data source. Okay. Now here I need to do one mapping. Okay. Now to bring data from this data by using this data source to bring data into my ADSO, I must create a mapping between this data source to my ADSO. So the mapping is nothing but we call it as a transformation. What we call it as a transformation. So in this transformation, So what is this transformation? In the transformation, we define the mappings between source and the target. In the transformation, we define mappings between source and target. Okay, so how it exactly it is? So we do like one-to-one mapping between this bill number to bill number, and similarly we do item number to item number. If you do wrong mapping like this, material, for example, if you do wrong mapping from material to something like unit, material to some item number, system doesn't, doesn't know. These mappings are you are doing manually. How you do mapping? The same way data moves from source to target. Okay. There is no checks happening how you're doing it, but data type check will happen at the time of data load. But okay, that is a different concept, but we are going to create now a transformation. In the transformation, we provide the mappings between the source and the target. As per the mapping definition, the data will be loaded from source to the target. Okay. So how we are going to this transformation, I'm going to show now. So to create a transformation, I need two things. One is my source, another one is my target. Okay, but transformation is mainly created on the target. Based on target, I am creating my transformation, and here I am giving my source information. So I will show you how to create now. Right click on your ADSO, go to new, create transformation. Okay, this is the transformation. So it is going to this one. No, you see in the transformation window, it is asking target. Since you target is your ADSO, it is already pre-filled with the target information. But source system doesn't know. You must select your source. So in our case, what is our source? Our source is a data source. Okay, that's why we must select the object type as data source. In real time, it may be, it may not be data source, it may be any of one of this info source, info data, DSO, info object, anything can be a source to a transformation. Okay, when you select the data source, system asks for corresponding data source and technical name and the source system. So we created yesterday one data source. So what was the technical name of our data source? This is the technical name. Search it here, you will get it. Automatically both got populated. Click on OK. Now system is creating a transformation. Now if you see here, this is the how it looks like, a transformation looks like. Okay, when you see here, there are two mappings which are automatically happened and remaining all are not happened. Why these two mappings got automatically happened? Based upon the technical name, you see unit, and here also unit. Based upon the technical name, if the technical name is matching similarly almost, then system will do automatic mapping. If system not able to distinguish between the technical names, then it won't do any mapping. Okay, because these are identical, it is mapped. Okay, if it is not mapped, you must do the mapping manually. Just select this column and then drag your mouse to the other side. Automatically a line will be created. So you must do your mappings properly. Like this, you have to do your mapping. So once the mapping is done, click on activate button. Click on OK. Okay, so transformation was created. Now right click your info area, refresh. Click on refresh. Then under your ADSO, you can see your transformation. Now, so creating a transformation doesn't mean you already loaded the data. Okay, transformation only defines the source and target, mapping information. It is you are defining only the mapping information in the transformation. But to perform a data load from source to the target, you must create another thing. What is that one? That is called data transfer package, nothing but DTP. Okay, we call it as a DTP. How to create a DTP? Right click on your transformation, go to new, and then data transfer process. Click on it. So when you click on the DTP, because we create this DTP transformation, it will take the source target information from transformation. You no need to specify. Okay, now data source, bill book, HANA, everything is fine. Click on OK. Don't change anything, just click on OK. Now it was created. So now you see here, let's say full. So in the extraction mode, we will talk about this extraction mode in detail in our next sessions. But as of now, change the extraction mode to full, and then data extraction directly from source system, PSA not used, not supported. How come? It will say like this only, but okay, some system issue. So like this, you need to select directly from source system, PSA not used, so that we are directly fetching information from the source system without PSA, and then click on activate button. So once the DTP got activated, right click your info area so that you can see DTP information also under this transformation. You see transformation for this DSO, there is a transformation, and for it there is a TTP. Now, how to execute this TTP? So you can execute this TTP. Means here also now data transfer not yet completed. You created a transformation. On top of transformation, you created a DTP. Okay. So DTP is used to perform the data load from source to target. But when it will perform data load, when you click on execute button, then only it will start, transferring data from source to target. Until then, it won't do anything. So now I'm going to execute button here and then click on execute. The request, so the request generated, click on OK. We will discuss more about this one. You see now data package 1, 4 data records. 4 data records came into my target. So since I executed the DTP, now it went to my source system. It extracted 4 records and it returned 4 records to my data target. Since it is an ADSO, where I can see my data in an ADSO, I'm going to my SAP, GUI. Or else let's see from here only. By clicking on this, administrative data target symbol, you can go to manage of this one. Here you can, you can see by going to this menu, manage, utilities, display new data. Tomorrow we discuss more about this ADSO concept. Okay. Here you see 4 records. So these 4 records are almost, similar to, okay, don't get confused here since my R3 and ECC, both ECC and BW and CN system, I am using C here only. So this is my bill book table. Under my bill book table, there are 4 entries are there. The same 4 entries now I can see in my ADSO also. You see 1000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and third one same data I am able to see here also. Okay, so like this we will move data from source system to BW, and how we are going to perform data load in our BW system. So what we learned so far, we not covered exactly what we discussed here. We learned how introduction to info objects and data loading also we learned in our session. And the properties of info objects we will learn in tomorrow session. Tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Yes. This is how to perform, a data load. So what we did, we loaded data from R3 system into our BW. As explained in our earlier sessions, we performed data load from R3 into sheet 2. There. Yeah. So now earlier data is in R3 system. Now we successfully bring the data into our BW database. Okay. So by using ADSO here. Let me start. So now in tomorrow's session, what I will do is I will give you more in details about what is an ADSO, different types of ADSO, when and where we use each different type of ADSOs. Okay. Either tomorrow or day after tomorrow after discussing info objects. I'm stopping recording here. Coming to our assignment, in our last session, we, in our last session, we created a data source, right? JDS_SXEMP1. So now what we need to do, we must create, an info objects for this data source. So what was the structure of this data source? So the data source is of type, this is the structure. Copy. Note. So as part of today's assignment, the first point is create info objects for the below structure. It means for each column in this below structure, we need corresponding info objects. Okay. So when coming to corresponding info objects, you must create here. There are no key figures. You see here, there is no key figure at all. Everything is a characteristic. Okay. Okay. Then in that case, this example doesn't suit because this is master data. Employee ID is a master data. Fine. Fine, no problem. Okay, what we do is create info objects for the below structure, and all these are info objects only of type characteristic. Okay, I'm telling info object type. All these are characteristic info objects. But when creating the info object data type, okay, this is all, everything is fine, but postal code provide numc. Okay, numc, and phone number also provide numc only. Okay, numerical text and length and all you can copy from here. Okay, so create info objects like this, and then create ADSO. Then when creating an ADSO, the name must be G. Okay, and then your standard way of naming convention, whatever you given here under XX, the same wording give here also, underscore A for ADSO, and EMP. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. I think it will work out. Okay, create an ADSO with the below structure. So same structure. Okay, spelling is something wrong. Okay, and what was the key here? So in this ADSO, you must specify employee ID as a key and remaining all as non-key fields. And then create transformation and DTP, perform the data load. Create transformation and DTP and do a data load. Okay, so this is what you are going to perform tomorrow's assignment. Okay, so there are no key figures, no problem, but try to complete this one. When creating info objects, the technical names. So when you create info object, because two people are creating same info objects, you may have a similarity, right? That's why what you do, G, your naming standard, and then your employee ID, EMP ID, like this. So now what was the length? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So if the length is going for more than 9 characters, what you must do, you must remove. For example, let's take country. So if you say here GXX country, then it is more than, what is more than 9 characters. It is almost 10 characters. If you want to remove anything, what must remove? Always remove the, what is it? AEIOU. I forgot the word. Okay, you must remove these things, vowels first. Okay, AEIOU. So out of it, which one we can remove here? Either you can come from the right hand side, also fine. So U, country, right? OU. I can remove these two, then it is 8. You see, even though if you remove these vowels, not a problem. It will give correct wording only. GXX country. Okay, like this. If any of your info object is exceeding more than 9 characters, try to remove vowels from the right hand side. Remove one, and after you seeing if the length is satisfying, keep it like this. No need to remove all vowels. Okay, that's all. So I'm stopping recording. Complete this assignment.